holds him over his head like Texas Chainsaw. Hey everyone, it's Spooky Puff, and I'm here to talk to you about Snoop Dogg's Hood of Horrors. I love me a low-budget horror movie. Love it. All right, then we go to story 2. What's funny about this scene is Devon's like, damn, because the way Posey just sprays into the elevator. Damn. And this redneck couple pulls up in the ghetto in their car with these horns in the front. And the girl is named Tiffany. She makes a joke about the exterior of the place because it looks run down on the outside.
Did you sign us up for some sort of home makeover reality show, baby?
You see me laughing, Sweet Pea? Just don't make eye contact. That sense fear.
That part was kind of funny. I'm not gonna lie.
That's crazy!
But it was funny because it's like, it's never that serious. So the guy's name is Tex Wood Jr. So I'm either going to say Tex Wood Jr. or Jr. I'm going to just use that name interchangeably. Well, his father died. He left him this apartment or this townhome. Basically, the clause of him staying there is he has to live there with the residents of the home for a year. Or if he doesn't do that, he gets nothing. It goes to them. But the issue with that is the residents are obviously black.
You didn't see that coming?
I had to grab my book because I wrote it down. So these are the 4 occupants. There's Sergeant Jackson, Corporal Stevens, Corporal Vance, and Roscoe Lee, Lieutenant. He doesn't like it, but he's gonna do it because he wants the house. But he has a sinister plan. They stand at attention when they hear that Colonel Tex Wood Sr. passed away. The 4 soldiers worked under him. We learned that Tex Wood Jr. killed him.
Got me out, but you got another thing coming. Fuck you, Daddy! Fuck you!
Tex Wood Jr. acts all remorseful, but then they pan over to the scene where they're speaking to, I want to say officiary, but I don't know. Anyway, they talk to the guy about the will, and Tiffany's like,
How much do we get?
Well, it's not quite that simple, miss.
Whoa. You mean he actually expects us to live in some ghetto rat trap with a bunch of colored folks?
Colored folk.
These are decorated war heroes. And yes, your father was quite adamant about your spending 1 year with them before you received your inheritance. He thought that it might help you fill in some of your character gaps.
Huh. And what if I say no?
Well, then he's left instructions for me to deed the property and all of your money to these soldiers that he served with.
Well, shit, son. That's over my dead body.
Well, son, after these gentlemen pass on, the property will be your possession solely.
Anyway.
Tex Wood Jr. says Roscoe's name wrong multiple times on purpose because he doesn't give a fuck. It's proven that he's doing it on purpose because after Roscoe corrects him, he says it wrong again.
Rochester? Is that right?
Roscoe.
Right, Rothko.
After saying his name wrong, they take Roscoe's room. And I don't like Roscoe throughout this because Roscoe's just being a bitch. I know he's trying to be respectful, but it's only so much respect. You can respect the father, but you don't have to respect the son. Fuck them kids. And they are some colored vets. Whoop his ass. Give him the ass beating his father clearly did not give him. Roscoe gives up his room. He just basically gets bitched out of it. Roscoe's like, for the ladies' sake. Boy, fuck her. Tex Wood Jr. and Tiffany basically get the men to clear out the room of all Roscoe's stuff.
Well, having Bullet here in spirit will almost make this place bearable. Chop, chop.
Well, I guess that's it.
Hey. Don't spend it all in one place, all right?
Roscoe tries to make any excuse to put up with that shit. Pins later to them playing a game of chess. Sergeant Jackson wins and he gets up and starts dancing, and in comes Miss Wanda, the nurse, their nurse. She's mostly a cook, but I'm gonna call her Nurse Wanda. She just comes over to cook for them, and she starts to dance with the men. Clearly they have a great bond with her, but Texwood Jr. comes down and starts trying to dance, and everybody just stops dancing and stares at him.
Don't break it, baby. All right.
Check that out. Huh? Roger Akeem. How about that? Y'all having a good old spirit.
Boy, if you don't...
Texwood Jr., of course, tries to flirt with Miss Wanda and kiss her hand, and Tiffany steps in, removes Nurse Wanda's hand casually, trying to flex her ring. Of course, Miss Wanda comments on the ring, trying to put Texwood Jr. in his place. After that, Texwood Jr. is like,
Brown sugar, huh?
Corny, lame, boo, tomato, I'm throwing tomatoes.
so Texwood Jr. brings up this accountant scam, basically saying that all the vets owe him $3,400.22 each. They have to sign over their pension to him. And they're cutting the grocery costs.
In order to make what y'all would refer to as restitution, we'll not only be cutting back on your groceries, but I will be creating a household in-pound account into which y'all will be signing over your pension checks until I am made whole.
And Corporal Steves is like,
You already are whole. You are an asshole.
that part killed me. Right after that, Tiffany asks them to do construction on the whole upstairs, basically taking all their freaking rooms. So they're gonna all have to bunk in a room downstairs together. And they do it. He's like,
Miss, you're talking to a room full of former carpenters.
why did you just so readily open yourself up to that? I don't like Roscoe. Again, I don't like him. And this is why. He's my 14th reason. Jackson's not going for it. Jackson's like, those are our rooms. And Texwood Jr.'s like,
And the good news is, you'll all be getting $5 an hour taken off your debt.
That's not even minimum wage.
I love Stevens. Stevens is the hero. Stevens eats him up every time. Stevens calls him shit for brains.
Shit for brains, I'm gonna tell you.
Go off, King. Stevens was about that action from the start. Roscoe, bitch ass. He's just going for it. Stevens was about that action. He's like, I don't give a fuck. Stevens is giving Aries. And Tex Jr. threatens to fire Miss Wanda if they don't agree. So they gotta agree. And Roscoe, bitch ass, like,
Get to work.
then they do a whole renovation montage where they show that there's no food in the fridge for Miss Wanda to cook. Because all the money, food budget's cut, all their pensions going to him. After they're done with the renovation, Texwood Jr. just slams the door in their face. Don't think of, just slams the door in their face once the renovations are done. And Roscoe says they can't fight Texwood Jr. physically or legally, or they're going to split all of them up. Which I kind of understand. I kind of understand that. The camaraderie of them being together and no one else would really understand. I get that. Don't want to get split up. That's the only time I agree with him. That's the only time I agree with Roscoe. Texwood Jr. goes outside in his red silk robe, steals a man's hat, and then he gets this huge box where he reaches in some delivery, then calls the delivery man a boy, and takes these horns out and holds them over his head like Texas Chainsaw. Foreshadowing, because he loved them horns. So Texwood Jr., drunk ass, come downstairs with a Bloody Mary in his hand during the 4th of July party for the vets, interrupts it. Texwood Jr.'s like, boys, I got some outstanding news. And Jackson's like,
You are moving.
and then Wanda's face said it all.
No, but
She's basically like, Texwood Jr. breath stink, and I know it do. Man's blitzed, drunk out of his mind. Texwood Jr. is like,
y'all got a lot of jokes in the hood, huh?
that was so funny. Anyway, Texwood Jr. starts hating on the vets because it's revealed that his father was gonna make him do it, but his weak ass didn't. I don't shade nobody for not wanting to go. I wouldn't. But what blows me is like, don't shade them, because that shows insecurity. That shows that you feel some type of way because you didn't go, so you got hate on them. hate her. And that's when Roscoe starts getting a little balls.
Daddy wanted to send me off to the Marines in time for the Gulf War. Well, I bribed my way into the Texas National Guard.
Figures.
I fuck with that little thing, okay? Yeah. You're not that bitch or nothing, but you still ate that little one. That little one thing, ate that one thing.
Texwood Jr. says some really sus shit.
Son, I will skull fuck you. Pardon?
And Wanda goes off on Tex Jr. He pulls Wanda to the side, makes a gross threat to Wanda, like pay to play type of stuff. She stupidly goes upstairs to talk to Tiffany and him together. Long story short, they kill Wanda.
There's a big surprise. That's an incredible. I think I'm gonna have a heart attack and die from that surprise.
Tiffany puts on Wanda's coat and scarf, runs out the door. The vets think she leaves. Roscoe sees that Stevens is actually dying, coughing up blood, and he gets angry. So he goes up to Texwood Jr.'s room, bursts in, and Texwood Jr. is not even looking at him. He's in front of a mirror while Tiffany's in the bathtub feeding her dog Pootie caviar.
Hey, Rhonda, which one you like? The white one or the black?
What? I don't know, man. That one.
Why? Because it's black.
That really sends Roscoe over the edge.
Push me to the edge.
Well, Texwood Jr. bitches him again.
Don't go trying to be the big man, or you'll end up just like my daddy. Yeah.
And
Before Roscoe leaves, he turns around, he's like,
Your day will come.
Well, okay, boss.
it was kind of funny because like, boy, shut up. And he goes to the deep freezer to look for food. And he finds Wanda's body in the freezer. And then he goes upstairs to tell the guys. And they immediately tell him as soon as he walks in the room that Stevens dies. So he goes sicko mode.
All my friends are dead.
The vets finally plan to get their lick back.
You gotta get your lick back.
I'm gonna call him Sicko Roscoe. I know it's cringe. I'm a millennial. Okay. Sicko Roscoe and the team burst into the Redneck Sex Fest. I said Sex Fest. Redneck Sex Fest.
Redneck Sex Fest. Redneck Sex Fest. Try saying that fast 3 times.
He burst in like,
Here's Johnny.
oh, I forgot I had coffee. I just smelt it. Let me take a little sip.
I'm back on my drip. Yeah. Drip, my drip, my drip. Drip. Right back on my drip. Yeah.
Five Below. The girls love Five Below. But let me get a sip. Roscoe bursts in and he's in sicko mode, beats the shit out of Texwood Jr. till he's unconscious.
This is for Stevens. This is for Wanda. This is for your dad. This is because you're a prick.
And then Texwood Jr. wakes up. Well, he doesn't wake up. They pan to Texwood Jr. having this water torture nightmare. It's giving Tales from the Hood type beat, type edit, which of course, because it's Hood of Horrors with Snoop Dogg. So I feel like they were trying to create the hype that Tales from the Hood had. They tortured Texwood Jr. for days, and then he wakes up, duct tape him into the wheelchair, and they have these planks on the steps where they wheel him up to the room. And while they're wheeling Texwood Jr. to the room, they have this amazing song.
I don't know, but it's been said. Redneck think it's gonna end up dead. Redneck think it's gonna end up dead.
Yeah, they wheel him up to the room where you see a bloated Tiffany in the bed. And for a split second, I thought some wild things, but they didn't touch her or anything. They've just been force feeding her caviar. So she's unharmed, just bloated from caviar. And Roscoe turns immediately to Texwood Jr. and asks him to pick who leaves the room alive, him or Tiffany.
Christ's sakes, you wimp! They're just a bunch of old coons.
Texwood Jr. obviously, of course, chooses Tiffany because he's a selfish brat. Roscoe says, just what I expected, roast him again. I love sicko Roscoe. I don't know why, Roscoe gives me Capricorn energy. It's like, it took a while for him to get upset, but once he did, it's no going back. Tiffany's gross death scene where she's force-fed caviar until her stomach explodes. I don't know if I want to add that. Because that was kind of gross, even though it was just gross. But they have clips of it on YouTube. If you want to go look it up, you can. I won't insert it because it made me cringe. So I feel like if it made me cringe, I shouldn't add it. And then they take Texwood Jr. out of the room because they said, who will leave the room alive? So he left the room alive, but they took him right to the stairs with the ramp. And he's screaming for his life, of course. And he's begging for his life. But he says Roscoe's name wrong again.
I'm gonna change, Remus.
The name's Roscoe. Bon voyage.
That's foreshadowing, duh. He died the way he killed his father. Sicko Roscoe delivers a great one-liner.
That's my kind of redneck.
Texwood Jr., he got the last laugh. Kinda, not really, but he says,
and y'all were almost paid off.
He just racist to the core. He don't care if he on his last breath. So they show Snoop Dogg, like they show, I don't know how much time later after all this happens, and the apartment or townhome, I don't know if it's a row house or what. I think it's a row house. And it looks really nice. It's really well done. The 3 surviving men are still living there nicely. Everything looks nice. And Devon comes walking in. He's the new supervisor. He comes in with Charlie. I think that was his name. Or Charles. And he just randomly shoots Pootie, the dog. Because apparently he's the new landlord and no dogs are allowed. Roscoe offers Devon, Snoop Dogg's character, some punch. And for some reason, Snoop Dogg said, nah, I don't smoke that brand. And I don't know if punch is a brand of roll-ups. I don't know. I didn't get that line. Charlie does a gross throw-up scene. I'm not adding that. It's just gross. Now to the last story.
Ghetto story.